Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Applied Theatre India Foundation. Uh, आज एक बहुत अच्छा दिन है। आज अ, मराठी रंगमंच दिवस है, 5 नवंबर, जिसको सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है आदरणीय विष्णुदास भावे जी के नाम से, जिन्होंने पहला नाटक लिखा और उसका मंचन हुआ था। तो उस मराठी रंगभूमि दिवस की आप सभी को शुभकामनाएं। और आज हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं कराड़ से अभिजीत कुलकर्णी। अभिजीत अ, अभी तो
गुड मॉर्निंग।
टीचर है, लेकिन उसके पहले वो टीचर नहीं थे। वो कई साल से थिएटर में काम कर रहे हैं। अलग अलग कल्चरल शो में एज अ कॉम्पेरर वो काम करते हैं। और अभी कराड़ में एक स्कूल में वो सिखाते हैं। अभिजीत ने जो अप्लाइड थिएटर इंडिया फाउंडेशन का सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम है, सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम इन अप्लाइड थिएटर, वो कंप्लीट किया था। और उसके बाद जिस तरह से उन्होंने काम करना शुरू किया है, वो हम जानेंगे कि वो क्या करते हैं, उनका अनुभव कैसे रहा। तो अभिजीत, वेलकम टू द सेशन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल।
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And before we go to what exactly you're doing right now, uh, tell us, when was the first time you heard the word applied theater and in what context?
Yes. Good morning. Thank you, Kaustubji, Vaishali. Uh, I remember when I was working in Jnana Prabodhini. Jnana Prabodhini Prashalaya is a school for gifted students. It is in Pune. Basically, I I was under wrong impression before that. We are using a traditional theater and some tricks from theater we will pick and we will use in education. So I heard first session in Pune, uh, and in that session I got some voice projection, voice modulation, and the same techniques which we are applying in traditional theater. But I was very curious about all these new concepts in education. Uh, so I was in search of such opportunity, and ATI, when I suddenly read by, I think it was on Facebook, and obviously before that we were. I think I have met you in Flame also. So. You were working very brightly, very nicely, and suddenly I heard about this ATI, that means Applied Theatre in Education. Uh, and as we know that we are going to face national education policy, uh, so we had to change our every aspect of education. And in the meantime, lockdown and all these things are happen. So the change in education, the change in students, the change in approach of teachers, and obviously we were. I have. I had no. I have no experience faced about Zoom or Google Meet, but I think with the help of this lockdown, uh, I was working with all these apparatus. But applied theater is a gem for me, and it's a boon, I think, uh, because when we are in school or in education, we have to apply so many things in our classroom. Classroom is not just for one-way talk, because we are dealing with school students. So Vyakhyan or lecture methodology is not used oftenly in school education. We have to engage students with different types of activities. So applied theater, I think it is good to cover all these fillers for all these fillers in education. So it is a good experience for me. And after the sessions, I could understand. much more things, and my classroom teaching is now very smooth.
Okay, Abhijit, I'm just coming to that about the application part. But before that,
Hmm.
uh, the foundation also started in a COVID time, right? And the I think it's an advantage also, it's a disadvantage also that we started using Zoom and a lot of artists. So basically, art is something that it is more experiential, and people feel like it has to happen face to face. But the COVID is something like there was no choice but to use the technology. So we also started using the technology, and a lot of our courses we did in this manner online. uh, how was that experience to imagine working in the field of art and doing things online? Was it scary during that time?
Yeah. So it was a big task for me because 30, 40 students. I think one student is very tough in our classroom, but here we are facing 30 or 40 students, and it is not compulsory that they should on their mic. It is not compulsory that they should on their screen. So एक बार जूम बहुत से बच्चों के बारे में ऐसा होता था कि some parents told me that he's sleeping now and I have started this Zoom meeting. So बच्चा सोता था और मम्मी कैमरा ऑन करती थी. So it was oftenly happened, but I think survival is the rule of nature. So उसमें से हम survive हो गए. But what happened कि we cannot teach everyone because information should be shared. But information should be shared. But what happened in case of school education, it is very difficult to connect with all the students because all the elder person can understand. So mute or start video or understand the matter. So for activity based learning, uh, online sessions are so much difficult, I think.
uh, so in that case, how was your experience in certificate program of applied theater? What are the different things that you have experienced? What is something that you really really enjoyed and learned? uh, Please share that experience as well.
Yes, yes. Applied theater was a very new concept for me because I was assuming something different and it was different because clowning, we always see any circus or we watch any show in circus. So what is clowning and all these things where it was a blur picture in front of all of us. So applied theater sessions started from clowning, and Mr. Praveen Tulpule, I think he was teacher in that session. So applied theater, in applied theater we enjoyed clowning session also, which is useful for small kids because kids are attracted and it's a separate entity or separate profession, clowning. But in applied theater we undergo all these parameters, all the sectors, that is clowning, then imagination, and playback theater. So it was a good experience that uh, the student should think about his study, or student should uh, think about his imaginations and all these things in education. So he will get some inputs by himself. सब कुछ टीचर नहीं सिखाता है,
Right.
जिसे हम एजुकेशन में कॉग्निटिव अप्रोच कहते हैं. So बोधात्मक, उसको हम an ideal teaching is I'm not teaching and he is learning. So these things can be happen in case of applied theater, I think.
And then when you completed and you went back to your school, how
Mhm.
are you applying? In what manner? uh, कितना आप उसमें से बच्चों के साथ प्रैक्टिकली अप्लाई कर पाते हो? और
Mhm.
क्या रिजल्ट आपको मिलते हैं?
Okay. So as we know, there are different methods of teaching and learning process. Every subject is different. That means हम जैसे लैंग्वेज सिखाते हैं वैसे मैथ्स नहीं सिखाते हैं, जैसे मैथ्स सिखाते हैं वैसे साइंस नहीं सिखाते हैं. So every subject has its own color. So I teach mathematics and basic language Marathi. And if required, पिछले साल last year I was teaching science. So science हो गया, maths हो गया, Marathi हो गया. If required, I can teach history also, geography also. But experience in case of mathematics, I have launched one concept which is called as Mathecon. Mathecon is related to 8 hours program, कंटिन्यूस प्रोग्राम फॉर सॉल्विंग मैथमेटिक्स. 8 घंटे बच्चा जब मैथ्स के संपर्क में आता है, तो पहली बात तो यह होती है कि टीचर्स मतलब कलीग्स एंड पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो से इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल यार, 8 hours मैथ्स, मैं तो 1 घंटा नहीं सॉल्व कर सकता. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर 8 hours. But I think we started session at 9:30 p.m. At 9:30 a.m. and up to 2 p.m. students were solving the mathematics. In between these processes, मतलब communicative communications and engaging themselves, I use much more things for imagination, because to find volume, to find area, these are the activities we conducted. And in that process, I used applied theater concepts for imagination, because I have to find the how much water is in that water tank. The example is simple and it is a traditional example, but students were enjoying for 1 and 2 hours this example. They could feel. So I applied in case of mathematics such in such manner, and in case of Marathi literature or any type of literature, we can apply these things. That I'm going to teach one poem, for example. If I am teaching any poem, so I have to create a picture of that poem, total know-how of that poem. So just reading and learning all these difficult words, write the exercise. These are the traditional practices and homework basically. But students are enjoying because every poem or every prose, uh, they are feeling like a cinema. And I repeat, ki cognitive approach is developed through this concept, I think, in my classroom.
That's very interesting because we know different languages like English, Marathi,
Yeah.
Hindi, and social sciences like history, then geography. So
Mm.
these are the areas where normally people try to apply theater or any other approaches because that is
Mm.
very convenient in that matter. It is also a little bit easy. But then using theater in mathematics, then pure sciences is
Yes.
little
Uh,
tricky.
for example, if there is chemical reaction, so one student is sodium and another is chlorine. So combination of Na and Cl or some chemical reactions, that is Cu plus H2SO4. So once Cu is coming from this side, Cu plus H2SO4, it's coming from right hand side, and they will mix with each other and give another products, CuSO4, and H2 will get out of the reaction. So these are the things. Uh, Now the students are very comfortable and they enjoy. एजुकेशन में एंजॉयमेंट तो खाली चाहिए,
Hmm.
लेकिन होता नहीं है, लेकिन अप्लाइड थिएटर की हिसाब से वो होता है.
So
इज अ
you
पार्ट
mean
ऑफ.
you actually converted those into characters?
या इन
Okay,
केमिकल रिएक्शंस.
wonderful. That's really interesting. How does student respond to that? What is their reaction?
They feel that they are the characters एंड खाली लर्न करना और माइंड करना। अरे लोग तो मैथमेटिक्स ज्योमेट्री के कॉन्सेप्ट मतलब पूरा पूरा रट्टा मारते हैं ऐसा। मैथमेटिक्स के एग्जाम्पल भी लोग रट्टा मार के तैयार करते हैं, लेकिन मैथ्स तो ऐसी बात नहीं है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना चाहिए। सो इससे अंडरस्टैंडिंग बढ़ता है।
Okay, okay. That's very interesting to listen to your experiences. Tell me one more thing, that this is about your application in your teaching with the students, right?
यस सर। यस सर।
What what happened to you? What happened to Abhijit after you completed the course as a human? Is there any change in you that you have noticed? Is there any development? Is there any realization? We
यस
want to
सर।
know what happened to Abhijit Kulkarni after this course.
Yes, it's a very interesting thing because I'm so aggressive person. So मैं ऐसे हाथ पे हाथ डाल के ऐसे ऐसे बैठा नहीं सकता। But now the change is I listen the conversation first, I think over it, and then I'll react. ऐसे उठ के ऐसे निकला है बोलने के लिए। सो दिस इज अ बेसिक चेंज। एंड बिफोर 5 days आई हैव कंडक्टेड अ सेशन फॉर 21 टीचर्स इन अ रूरल एरिया। So the dealing with teachers is very difficult because all teachers are lawyers, and they are picking some things that implemented by government, implemented by management, so their own problems. But I could deal with all these teachers before 4 or 5 days. It was a good experience, and I think I started imagine the situation. तो उसका सही मतलब समझ में आना चाहिए सिचुएशन का, तभी तो हम कुछ काम कर सकते हैं। सो इट हैपेंड रिलेटेड टू मी।
Okay, correct, correct. So you said a very interesting thing that जो भी आप कर रहे हैं उसका सही मतलब समझ में आना जरूरी है. So the cause of the work that you are doing is
यस।
very very important. Okay. Uh, with connection to the new education policy that has been launched by the
यस।
central government,
यस।
and all the schools and teachers, we have always been talking about it.
यस।
That uh, fundamentally, uh, the policy looks very good, right? There are a lot of new things that government has introduced. They try to make the knowledge more application oriented rather than just information. Uh, how, as a teacher, how do you think it is important for other teachers to understand the importance of NEP and the application of NEP for the betterment of the student?
So first thing is teacher is matlab all, I'm not talking about all the teachers, but much more teachers are using the traditional methods of teaching.
Hmm, hmm,
There are two different aspects. After lockdown, the students, they are changed. Their approaches are changed. They are learning, but some characteristics are new developed in
was
lockdown. So we are facing so much problems. The batch in lockdown. So जो थर्ड में था वो डायरेक्टली सिक्स में आया है।
बिल्कुल.
सो थर्ड फोर्थ फिफ्थ ये सब वैनिश है
Hmm.
यहाँ से। सो नेशनल एजुकेशन
इसका
पॉलिसी
इसका
टीचर्स।
इसका इसका मतलब टीचर को प्रॉब्लम होता है.
हाँ, मतलब स्टूडेंट को समझ में रजिस्टर नहीं होता है जो मैं सिखा रहा हूँ।
Hmm,
वो घर में पूरा काम कर सकेगा अभी, लेकिन फिफ्थ स्टैंडर्ड का सिक्स स्टैंडर्ड का पूरा मैनेज हो गया और डायरेक्टली वो सेवेंथ को आ गया। सो
yes,
बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स में प्रॉब्लम आया है। तो इसका जो नुकसान है, तो इट विल कनेक्ट विथ हिम इन स्टैंडर्ड 10।
hmm. Right.
When he will go to standard 10, so integers minus and plus में सब झोल हो जाएगा.
Hmm.
So I think teachers now in India, basically majority teachers are thinking, or they are always say कि अभी तो नहीं आया है, वो आने वाला है.
Hmm.
सो जब आएगा तब देखेंगे क्या चेंज करना है. सो जब तक गवर्नमेंट नहीं इम्प्लीमेंट करता तब तक ये तो नहीं होगा. सो जब आएगा तब देखेंगे. So before few years, activity based learning (ABL) and constructivism, it was launched by I think NCRT.
Yeah.
Some teachers were applying in good manner, but now national education policy में art का जो स्थान है, importance of art, storytelling, इट इज मोर. देखिए, बिकॉज साइंस पढ़ाना है, हिस्ट्री पढ़ानी है, मैथ्स या ज्योमेट्री जो भी है, वो इन केस ऑफ जब हम स्टोरी बच्चों के साथ शेयर करते हैं. वंस आई वाज इन नासा, एंड ऐसा अगर हम कुछ ऐसे कुछ स्टार्ट करें तो वो सुनते हैं, अरे यार ये कोई इंपॉर्टेंट है.
Hmm.
सो अप्लाइड थिएटर आई एम यूजिंग की स्टोरी टेलिंग प्लस इमेजिनेशन, ये सब इकट्ठा करके ना एक अच्छा इफेक्ट मिलता है. सो
Okay.
नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में सो लैंग्वेज को अच्छा स्थान है. मतलब लैंग्वेजेस आर मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. नाउ पेरेंट्स आर आल्सो थिंकिंग कि संस्कृत इज नॉट ओनली फॉर स्कोरिंग. सो लैंग्वेजेस आर इम्पोर्टेंट, एंड ऑब्वियसली कॉग्निटिव अप्रोच भी इंक्रीज्ड. समझ में आना चाहिए, रजिस्टर होना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल. बिल्कुल.
यस सर.
Perfect. I think you have lightened on a lot of things as a teacher, because many a times we get people who are coming from a corporate background, doing HR and working in the industry. But
Yes.
I think you're coming from a very, very noble profession, where you are creating better citizens for our nation. What is your advice to other teachers regarding applied theatre? Do you think there is a scope in applied theatre in coming years?
Yes.
Should they learn more about it? And what is your suggestion as a teacher to other teachers?
It is very important because nowadays uh, chance, no chance to teacher कि अगर मैं नहीं सिखाऊंगा तो बच्चा नहीं सीखेगा. वी कैनॉट से, बिकॉज एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल ऑन गूगल.
Hmm.
इफ आई एम सेइंग कि 2 into 2 इज इक्वल टू 5, तो बच्चा कहेगा कि देखो ये गूगल गूगल कैसा बोल रहा है, ये तो 4 बता रहा है और आप कह रहे हैं कि 4. तो हम बच्चों को ऐसे ही नहीं छोड़ सकते हैं. सो टीचर्स, स्टूडेंट्स, पेरेंट्स, ये जो ट्रायंगल है, ये ट्रायंगल अगर हमें कुछ अच्छा आउटपुट का करना है तो अप्लाइड थिएटर हर एक टीचर ने करना चाहिए. बिकॉज एवरी मैक्सिमम टीचर्स, ऑल ऑफ अस, वी हैव लर्नड इन अ ट्रेडिशनल मेथड.
Yeah.
डू द होमवर्क, डू दिस थिंग्स. जो भी नहीं आता है वो ऐसे
याद करो.
रट्टा मार ले याद करो पूरा. रियाज, रियाज, लेकिन ये अलग सा रियाज है. तो ये रियाज करो, और वो रियाज करने के बाद आओ और 3 घंटे में जो भी है वो यू हैव टू राइट इन योर पेपर. मराठी में से ग एंड ओ का जो भी याद करना है वो 3 घंटे में खाली लिखना है. लेकिन नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी सजेस्ट यू हैव टू चेंज द इवैल्यूएशन मेथड ऑल्सो.
Mhm.
So at that time, if a student is self-sufficient, then he will write the paper.
Mhm. So, Abhijit, uh, thank you very much for joining us here today and sharing your thoughts and your experiences, and also your expectations about teachers and teaching profession. I hope that this will
Yes.
going to help a lot of other people to understand the importance of applied theater in education, and this will going to change the face of education in coming year. I wish all the very best for the lot of things that you have been doing apart from teaching also, and getting involved in art and all other areas has always been your passion. Uh, so, on behalf of all the listeners and Applied Theatre India Foundation, I wish you all the very best and hope to see you again in some new project. And let's get connected. Let's share the knowledge with others. Uh, I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you.